Going on, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning into a new video. I hope you're all well, and if you do enjoy this video then please do drop a like down below and also subscribe if you are new around here. If you're not familiar with the channel, I will be having my first MMA fight on the 5th of December, and I'm currently pushing out some content along the way to keep you guys updated on how training's going and how everything's going in the camp before the fight on the 5th of December. If you do want to get tickets for the fight and come down and support me, I really would appreciate it, and you can do so. There is a link in the description if you would want to come down and buy a ticket. There's VIP tables with waitress service, and there's also normal standing tables available if you did want to come down. So this Saturday we saw UFC 321, and I'm going to break it down, do a little recap on it for you guys today, and just talk about some key moments from the card and give my overall rating on it too. So we'll start with the main card, and we saw Rakic get knocked out with a jab. I'll insert the clip for you guys here. But yeah, he got knocked out with a jab, which was crazy. And the guy he was fighting is undefeated. He must have some insane power. And it just goes to show that your physique doesn't mean everything in the octagon. Because Rakic had a reach advantage, a height advantage, he had the abs. It don't mean nothing if you don't have the power and you don't keep your hands up. And that was a real good start to the main card. Then we saw Volkov versus Almeida. Almeida was landing really nice wrestling takedowns, double legs, single legs, and he had around 10 minutes of control time actually on Volkov. However, he didn't manage to land any damage while he was on top. He was holding Volkov down and controlling him. However, he was landing pretty much 0 ground and pound. And they gave Volkov the decision because they thought Volkov landed more damage. He landed the better and harder shots. And that's why Volkov did get the decision there. I'm glad Volkov won because I thought he deserved to get the win against Cyril Gane this summer, and he lost. And I feel like it's good karma that he's actually won this match. And I actually like that the UFC base it on damage, not just on takedowns, and that was a really good point to see from the judges actually. And in the co-main event we saw new strawweight women's champion Mackenzie Dern, and again in that fight she didn't necessarily get the most takedowns, she just got the more damage off, and we saw her opponent's eye was so bloody and weltered. It really played an effect on the judges' scorecards, and Mackenzie Dern is now the women's strawweight champion. Umar Nurmagomedov defeated Mario Bautista. He got hurt real bad in the middle of the fight. It was like a knee that was caught midway. So Mario was looking to throw a kick, and Umar has been caught with it just under his chin, and it dropped Umar. Umar was dropped. However, he responded really well. He didn't panic. He continued with the takedowns. He had better striking, and I thought it was a well-deserved fight from Umar. In his post-fight interview with DC, he basically admitted that he's an amateur and he's got a long way to go if he wants to be anything like Khabib. And I feel like accountability is one of the best things a UFC fighter could have, because he'll take this and he'll train even harder for his next fight. I do believe if he performs like that against Merab will have fun with him again and he will win again. We did see Umar very tired at the last round in the post-fight interview in the ring. He was so out of breath and he could barely get his words out. However, he showed levels with Mario Bautista. Mario Bautista put up a decent fight, and he was coming into this on a 8-fight win streak, so he wasn't someone to be taken lightly. And Umar did admit that he did underestimate Mario. However, he still got the win, and I do believe he deserves the title shot. However, he definitely has to improve his cardio if he does want to get that match against Merab, or even Peter Yan for that case. And obviously main event, if you've not seen it already, it ended in a no contest between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. So the opening of the fight, I was really hopeful that Tom would come out, do the business as he normally does. However, he was looking to steamroll Ciryl Gane, and Ciryl Gane's lateral movement was really good, and he was throwing strikes on the back foot, and his agility and his precision was actually very good for the first few minutes of the fight. Obviously, it did only last around 3 or 4 minutes before Ciryl Gane put both his fingers in Tom Aspinall's eyes. It wasn't just one eye, he did a double, and then I saw the replay and he then pushed his fingers deeper in the eyes. And looking back at that, I can't blame Tom Aspinall for not being able to continue, because imagine trying to fight someone like Ciryl Gane and you can't even see what you're doing. It just sounds like a nightmare. And I do feel sorry for Tom Aspinall, because he's waited around 14-15 months to finally get this opportunity after being sidelined thanks to John Jones. And his opportunity ends in 3 or 4 minutes. All that training, all that time sacrificed. And I do hope that the doctors say it's nothing too serious, and I really would like to see Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane run that back before the end of the year. Ideally, if they could get it on the December card, where Merab's fighting Peter Yan and Pantoja's fighting Josh Van, I would love to see that as the main event and close out the year with 3 championship fights. That would be great. To those that are saying Ciryl Gane was dominating Tom Aspinall, I don't think he was. He popped open Aspinall's nose with a stiff jab, and he was landing some nice stuff. However, you're not taking into account what Tom Aspinall was landing. Tom Aspinall was looking fairly decent in that first round. He was just getting started and he was just getting warmed up, and he even threw a head kick on Ciryl Gane, which I never thought I'd see someone the size of Tom Aspinall throwing a flush head kick to Ciryl Gane. So I don't think it was a pure domination from Ciryl Gane. It was a 50-50 fight going into the stoppage, and yeah, it's just really disappointing to see. It's proper anticlimactic. And now we have a few weeks until the next numbered card, which is going to be Makhachev versus Della Maddalena, and also Carlos Prates versus Leon Edwards is on that card too. And the co-main event is Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. So that card is going to be really good at Madison Square Garden. We also have a UFC fight night in Qatar, where Arman's fighting Dan Hooker and Ian Machado Gary is going to be fighting Bilal Muhammad. So November's looking good for the UFC. Obviously, this card had some good moments. However, overall, I'd rate it a 6 out of 10. Just solely because the co-main event was pretty boring and the main event itself was really anticlimactic. Highlight for me was Umar's performance. I thought that was a real high level display, and I can't wait to see him against Merab. Let me know your thoughts on the card, and let me know what you'd rate it out of 10 in the description down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and thank you so much for watching my video. Take care.